This is the Traeger Grills Pro 575 wood pellet grill and smoker. My first thought when I fired it up was how much it feels like an outdoor oven that just happens to run on wood. The D2 direct drive lights fast, ramps up smoothly, and the temperature holds steady like a kitchen range. From my experience, that's the headline. Consistent heat and very little fuss, so the focus is on the food, not fighting a fire. Key features that stood out to me start with the Wi-Fi controller and app. It connects over 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, and once I got it paired, I could watch great temps and the included meat probe from my phone. Tweak set temps in 5-degree steps, set timers, or bump to keep warm. The app won't let you ignite remotely, which is a good safety call. I did have to wrangle my mesh network to make pairing happen. So if your router blends 2.4 and 5 gigahertz on one SSID, you might need a guest network or a temporary tweak. After that, it's been reliable and quick to update. The other big upgrade here is how Traeger moves air and pellets. The brushless DC motor meters fuel smoothly, and the variable speed fan ties it together. When I opened the lid to flip burgers, Turbo Temp pushed extra air and pellets to recover heat fast. That responsiveness shows up in day-to-day cooking where you're checking food often. At low temps for ribs or pork shoulder, the PID controller keeps things locked in. My graph logs sit within about 5 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit of the set point, which is exactly what I want on long cooks. Cooking space is listed at 575 square inches across 2 racks. Real talk, I can fit roughly 20 quarter-pound burgers across both racks without crowding, or a couple of pork butts and a chicken with room to breathe. It's perfect for a family dinner and a few friends. The porcelain grates release well and clean easily, though they don't hold as much heat as cast iron. So on high-heat cooks, you get more even browning than dramatic grill marks unless you add a cast iron skillet or aftermarket grill grates. On flavor, pellet smoke is cleaner and milder than a stick burner. In my opinion, the Pro 575 leans toward light blue smoke that works great for poultry and pork. Brisket comes out juicy and balanced, but not heavy with smoke. There's no super smoke mode on this model, so if you want a deeper profile at low temps, a pellet tube or a chunk of hardwood in a smoker box helps. I run a smoke tube for the first couple of hours on ribs, and it gives me the bump I want. High heat performance tops out at 500 degrees Fahrenheit. That's plenty for chicken skin, salmon, and roasted veggies. For steak, I get better sear results by preheating a cast iron pan or dropping in sear panels. Purely on the stock grates, the crust is good, but not steakhouse dark. If you're chasing ripping hot, direct flame sear, this isn't built for that. It's a convection-first design with a drip tray over the firepot, so you're cooking with hot air and great contact, not flame licking the meat. The quality feels solid. The powder-coated steel barrel and sawhorse chassis make it stable, and the big wheels roll well across pavers and grass. At 124 pounds, it's sturdy enough that wind doesn't rattle it, but still manageable to reposition. The hopper holds 18 pounds of pellets, which is slightly annoying because bags are usually 20 pounds. The rear cleanout door is handy for swaps and storage. Keeping pellets dry is the difference between easy days and headaches, so I store them in sealed bins and empty the hopper if I'm done for a while. The motor can reverse and fight small bridges, but wet pellets can turn to concrete in the auger of any pellet grill, and that's a teardown you don't want. The chimney on the right creates a cross-flow draft. The cap adjustment matters more than I expected. A thumb's-width gap has been the sweet spot for me. Open enough to keep smoke clean, closed enough to hold heat. If you crank it down too far, the smoke gets dirty and can leave soot on food. That simple tweak made ribs and chicken taste cleaner. Cold weather exposed the one design trade-off I noticed most, the single-wall barrel. On a breezy 20-degree Fahrenheit day, the grill burned more pellets and struggled a bit to hit the top of the range. The fix was a Traeger insulation blanket, which made a noticeable difference in fuel use and heat stability. The outside of the barrel gets hot too, so I keep kids and pets back and treat it like a hot oven door. Maintenance has been easy, with a couple of habits that pay off. I vacuum out the firepot every few cooks to keep ash from choking the flame. I foil the drip tray so grease cleanup is quick, and I make sure the grill sits level so grease flows to the bucket. The chute that drains into the bucket can clog if you let grease carbonize, so I scrape that channel now and then. Shutdown is worth doing properly. Let the fan cycle finish so the pellets in the pot burn down. Cutting power mid-cook can cause a backburn or a smoky mess at the next start. I've had no failure so far. The igniter lights fast, and the temp probe reads close to my ThermoWorks pens with a small offset I calibrated in the controller. I've seen others mention RTD probe and hot rod wear over the years, and those are replaceable. Traeger support has a good track record and a 3-year warranty, which gives me more confidence if something goes sideways. From my experience, this grill shines when you want consistent results with minimal tinkering. Set it to 225 degrees Fahrenheit for ribs. Cast a recipe from the app if you want hand-holding, and it just runs. It's perfect for weeknight chicken thighs, pulled pork on the weekend, and big batch cooking for parties where you don't want to babysit the pit for 10 hours. If you're the kind of cook who likes to build a fire, manage vents, and chase heavy smoke, you may want more manual control or a different style of smoker. If you prize convenience and steady heat with real wood flavor, this hits the sweet spot. I'd recommend this for anyone who values the app experience, wants reliable low and slow performance, and plans to cook year-round with the option to upgrade accessories. If searing steaks is your top priority, pair it with a hot cast iron setup or a small gas sear burner. If you live in a very cold climate, plan on the insulation blanket. If you want the same reliability with more smoke intensity and insulation baked in, the higher Traeger lines have features like super smoke and double wall construction, but they cost more. In my opinion, the Pro 575 nails the promise of wood-fired cooking without the hassle. It balances tech and taste, and once you dial in pellets, cleaning, and that chimney cap gap, it's a stress-free cooker. The only real compromises are tied to physics: single-wall heat loss in winter and convection-only searing limits. Everything else feels like thoughtful engineering that makes backyard cooking easier and more repeatable. In conclusion, this is the grill I reach for when I want dependable results and a smooth workflow. It's the one I recommend to friends who want to get into smoking without buying a bunch of tools or learning fire management. It's not trying to replace a steakhouse broiler, but it nails ribs, pork shoulder, chicken, and roasted sides with very little drama. And the app support is the best I've used on a pellet grill. I'll leave the details about the Traeger Grills Pro 575 wood pellet grill and smoker in the comments for you to check out. See you in the next video.